like opposition writing to the Ministry of Defense asking to use Kololo ceremonial grounds.
Yeah, but that is one aspect. But then there is the other aspect that he raises, that this is a National Leadership Institute. And if members of the NRM have been invited to go there, he's raising the other issue that it should have been the entire parliament. Maybe that is something, food for thought, that has to be brought up so that all MPs can go and utilize this facility. But I also remember, I think some time back, that I don't know whether it was National Unity Platform or FDC. I think one of them attempted to, or wrote, requesting to use the facility. And I remember, I think they came back to Parliament to report that they had been denied. But that was because at that time, the Institute had other programs. So I just want to assure Ugandans and the members of the opposition that this is a public institute. And therefore, it is free for all public institutions, and political parties are part of government, because you have under IPOD that arrangement where, even funding to political parties comes from the taxpayer. So I don't see much. Let us now, test the ground by let those who want to get Kyankwanzi, whether it is NUP or FDC, formally, request the director, and then we see if they will be denied. But I don't think they will, because as I've said, this is a public institute, and they get funding from the consolidated fund, which is taxpayers' money. But also, secondly, the Honorable Odonga was raising an issue about funding, about this retreat. The National Resistance Movement is a political party, and political parties have funding from still the taxpayers. And, of course, they fund based on numerical strength. So I strongly believe that utilizing the resources, government, just like other parties do, that should be the money that they are using. They cannot submit, a budget to either any vote, and it is funded from any of the votes that exist currently. So this is funding purely arranged under the Secretary General. It's not from, any institution of government, whether it is the presidency or parliament. Yeah.
But the point I seek clarification since you have information. National Unity Platform can write they want to go to Kyankwanzi. It's not about the building. To me, I'm talking about the doctrine.
Yeah.
Because by the time they reach there, they should also be taken through the military drills. They should also be taken through patriotism courses. So it's not just about the venue, but about the content. It would have been very nice.
Even that, when you write to the director and then indicate that you also want, the National Leadership Institute as an institution to actually take your members through some of these programs, I'm very sure that the director will respond. Plan, yes, you want him to take you through what they are taking the others through. But you must
together, not
yes, but you must know that this is an NRM retreat. So it is a party retreat being conducted at the National Leadership Institute. So the program is drawn by the Secretary General. And of course that makes the difference. It is not the government that has programmed to take members of parliament there. It is the party.
I think
so if the party, for example, FDC or NUP, I don't know where Odonga belongs now.
I also don't know.
I
also don't know.
But I think Honorable Odonga's point is, why shouldn't it be a retreat on the induction of members of parliament? Why should it be just NRM?
Now,
NRM has taken a step forward, which is okay.
Canary, let us separate institutions. There is the Parliament of Uganda. The Parliament of Uganda prepares or organizes, induction training for members of parliament, irrespective of their political parties. They are all trained together. But this one is a party activity. It is the NRM which has decided to take its members to the National Leadership Institute. And that is a different matter. So let us not mix the two. there will be an induction for all members of parliament. But the NRM has decided to pick its members and even invite others. I heard the Secretary General inviting even the opposition who are willing to go and join them to actually go and sign up. So it was open. How I wish Honorable Odonga, no, you are not an elected member of parliament. How I wish other...
Neither is he in opposition.
Yeah.
Yes, how I wish other members of parliament...
political purgatory.
Yes, how I wish other... how I wish other opposition MPs had actually, taken up this chance so that they go and witness, but also experience what goes on at the National Leadership Institute. It was open.
Paint for us a
and
picture.
That's why the independents went there.
Paint for us a picture of what exactly goes on in Kyankwanzi. What exactly did you gain from there, apart from being acquainted with new members of parliament, your colleagues and all? What exactly goes on in Kyankwanzi?
Uniform, guns.
There is normally a detailed program. What
we see is a UPDF uniform, and then later being trained in the use of guns, and then that's it. This is looking like
no. I don't think this is
looking like President Yoweri Museveni's tighter grip.
By the way,
members of parliament.
By the way, the issue of guns or military training comes in at the tail end, and it's a one-day activity. It comes in at the tail end, and it is optional. By the way, it's not mandatory for everyone. So some go for it just to acquaint themselves with the gun. Some do not.
Why is it necessary?
No, it's open. It is open. They want to acquaint you. You've gone to a National Leadership Institute as a leader. You need to understand how a gun looks like, how it can be operated. It may be in your house and you even don't know how to operate it. You may be married to a UPDF officer, or some people have private guns. Your husband or wife may have a gun when you are actually spouse in the house and you don't know how to operate it. So what goes on at the National Leadership Institute, the retreats that I have attended, organized by the NRM, by the way, it's a detailed program, and they invite several speakers from the Ministry of Finance, from Uganda Revenue Authority, key sectors like agriculture, health, education. So all these sectors, they invite either technocrats or some, even motivational speakers, by the way, and they take members through this. So once, for example, if it is a paper on agriculture, they will share the policies, their policies, they will share the plans. For example, now we are getting into the next financial year. We are into the budgeting period. They will take members through what is the plans for the next financial year, programs. And of course, members ask questions at the end of the day. And sometimes, where time allows, even answers are provided. Sometimes, of course, there is no time because, the agendas are so packed. So if there isn't time, members are asked to maybe write, and then at an opportune time, responses are actually provided. So it's quite engaging, by the way, because you wake up in the morning. First of all, there is physical exercise. People wake up at 6, some even 5:30. So you are taken through exercise for physical fitness. As you all know, the non-communicable diseases are with us, and we encourage as much as possible people to exercise at least 30 minutes or 1 hour every day. So after the exercise in the morning, then members go for breakfast, and by 9 they should be seated waiting to receive the next agenda item.
Right.
Yeah.
Honorable Odonga, looking into some of the things, the teachings